Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is David and today we'll be working with exotics to craft a slim and elegant bifold wallet with vertical card slots. This wallet is going to be made out of American Alligator in black color and will be lined with black goatskin. Now I've recently uploaded a speedy version of this wallet but wanted to make a more detailed video since we're working with a kind of leather that is not so common to work with and felt you guys might hopefully find something useful or different from this tutorial that might come in handy. So in a previous video I made the same wallet out of Rocado shell cordovan in a marble color, which turned out to enhance the beauty of the leather without the need of any lining or edge finishing. This time however we're going to be using a very different kind of leather, which to begin with is way thinner than the cordovan leather from the previous wallet. So with this type of material you can expect the wallet to be considerably thin, as you'll see once the wallet is finished. Now alligator leather behaves quite differently from cordovan leather in that you cannot just cut out the pieces as you wish from the hide or gel you're using. You need to be careful on the direction of the scales to avoid any potential cracking or unpleasant appearance on your projects. Here you can see how the scale seems to create an ugly sharp edge when folded horizontally, but a nice and even look when done vertically. So if you're planning on working with exotics, do take these things in consideration. So here I'll be using the same template I did for the cordovan wallet, and as you can see it barely covers enough leather to cut the outer panel from the tail. Now that's a relief since this is the longest of the 6 pieces we need, and after knowing exactly where the pieces will be cut out, we can mark them with a scratch awl and then use our cutting ruler and X-Acto knife to cut out the pieces carefully. This leather is not as expensive as a cordovan piece, but we need to be very careful since this piece is quite small and we won't have enough of it. Now for the edges I ended up using the same template since it's made out of stiff cardboard, and used my X-Acto knife to make small straight cuts in an angle until I got a rounder edge on each of the card slots. I also used a knife to carefully cut out the curved sections in the middle of the pieces, and in some cases used my large scissors to carefully work my way through after passing the blade on the leather once. To paint the edges, I use some Fivings Edge Coat in black color. Fivings Edge Coat is easier to polish and produce a nice shine with some burnishing gum than with other paints such as vernice. And since this alligator leather is quite shiny, I wanted the edges to have a similar appearance. And once the edges of the card slots were painted, we can work our way with the larger slots. Now since this will have the backside exposed, it's best to line them with a thin and durable kind of leather. In this case I went on and used some black goatskin from Alran Chevre. This leather has an elegant feel and texture but doesn't compete with the strong texture of the alligator, so I thought it might be a good combination. So after cutting the goatskin to a more manageable piece, I went on and glued both parts together and let them dry for around 30 minutes. Now, since the texture of the alligator leather is quite strong, it will mark the goatskin, but this won't be visible once the wallet is folded and in use. With the edges now dry, I could burn and polish them using first a wooden edge liquor to create some friction on them, and then use some Tokonole burnishing gum to polish them to a nice high shine with the help of a small piece of canvas and more friction. With our main parts now glued and dried, we can start cutting out the larger part, which is the bill slot, and stitch the upper part with a fine size linen thread, since the part of the slot is exposed and will receive constant wear. Then, since we're done with the stitching, we can paint and polish the edge and continue working with the interior parts of the wallet. So the first thing we need to do with interior slots is to mark the stitching lines and punch the stitching holes with a diamond chisel or pricking iron. In my case, since I'm using a thin linen thread for this wallet, I'll go with the pricking irons, which have a closer distance between each hole, and once the holes of the front of the slots are finished, we move on to glue these slots to the back ones and mark the stitching holes once again with our scratch awl. Since we're using a shiny alligator leather, it's best to sand off the edge of the finished side of the larger slots so the glue can adhere better to the surface and avoid any slippery movement while working with them. Then we can glue the slot assemblies to the back leather part, as you can see here, and wait for around 20 to 30 minutes until the glue is set, to then hammer the pieces together and join the large bill slot on the back. Now this slot is larger than the back leather part, so we'll have to work first with one side of the wallet and then glue and hold the other side with some clamps. For this project, since we're lining our wallet with some goatskin, it's best to stitch the edges as much as possible to avoid any potential damage of wear of these pieces in the future. So we're going to saddle stitch the entire wallet in one go using our line and thread and stitching pony, and then we can move on with the edges of the wallet. Now for the edges, again I'll be using some Fibbings edge coat since this wallet has an intense luster overall, and I find the Fibbings paint to achieve a similar shiny effect when polished with some burnishing gum. So after giving the edges 2 to 3 coats of paint, we can polish them with a wooden slicker and some Tokonole burnishing gum, and we're good to go. As a final step, I always like to use a plastic bone folder to remove any potential glue left over in between the leathers and make a quick card test before using the wallet. And after all of this, we have finally finished our project. So here we have the finished wallet, polished and ready to be used, and compared to the shell Cordovan one, you can immediately tell it's quite thin. So friends, I hope you have enjoyed watching this tutorial and find it useful. Thank you so much for watching, and if you wish to see more leather projects like this one, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I post videos on leather crafting DIYs, leather product reviews and more. Also, hit the notification bell to be the first ones to know whenever I post a new video. There are many exciting new projects coming up soon, so I invite you to stay tuned to the channel. I'll leave you here with some final shots of the wallet. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.